So first of all, welcome. All our startups, all our esteemed guests, we are starting our third cohort's demo day. So I'm Julia, and you can see there in the screens, I'm going to spotlight them for everyone. You can see our team. So here's Michelle. Hi. And Tamir. I lost you there. There. And Batel. So if you have any questions or comments or anything else, you're welcome to find us on chat and approach us and write us. And we're starting. So we're welcoming you to our event. We really appreciate you for taking the time in this, well, these not so easy weeks to participate, and we promise it's going to be a lot of fun. So to our long-term friends and partners, thank you for joining the ride. And for those who are new and unfamiliar with Oasis, with the Oasis family, as Dana said, we build and we raise and we accelerate deep tech startups that are based on groundbreaking research in Bengal University. So to open this event, I would like to invite Dana Gavish-Friedman, the manager of Yazamut 360, our home base, and the university's entrepreneurship center, to say a few words. Dana, please.
Thank you. Wow, so many participants. And I am really, really excited to welcome you to this celebration. And I would like to tell you that, first of all, you are about to view the result of hard work. And it's going to look really, really good. Everything you're about to see is the result of really hard work, but and a lot of collaboration by so many people. So first of all, our researchers, such distinguished researchers that have joined this third cohort of the Oasis very, very unique program. Thank you for putting your trust in the Oasis team in this process, which obviously requires a lot of hours and a lot of work by you and by your teams, the research students, the student associates that have joined you. Thank you so much for all this hard work by you that we're about to view today. Obviously, everything that we do at Oasis through the Entrepreneurship Center is backed by the entrepreneurship team of the center. Thank you to Carmel Sofer, Professor Sofer, who is chairing this center, and to the Yazamut team that provides the strong backup to everything that happens at Oasis. Yulia Segali, Michelle Sayag, thank you so much for putting all this amazing work together and for the past 3 cohorts. We see amazing results now of this work. And I'd like to also tell you that we do feel at Yazamut and also at the university that we're doing something unique at Oasis. And the result is, and the reason is that, first of all, we're working very hard with the BGN Technologies team. Everything that you're about to see is the result of collaboration with a tech transfer company. So this is a joint collaboration that provides a new training for researchers, research students, and their students. And the results are here. So now we have a university, Ben-Gurion University, that can take pride in 12 new startups, well established, with a business model, with a product in sight. Some of them have already opened their offices at the university's high-tech park, which makes us so happy to see, and job opportunities for those students that work at those startups. So this is something that we see as a process coming to fruition, and is the result of amazing collaboration with so many people. I'd like to remind everyone that IBM AlphaZone has been here from the very start. They're here with us with the full team. So thank you to their teams. And of course, all our mentors and our partners that are here as well today. I know how many hours you're putting into our startups, and I'd like to thank you as well. I'd also like to say that as a part of this feeling that we're creating something different, I think that the major thought is that we're also creating some kind of new process in the horizon for slightly changing the way we do technology transfer, and that we are kind of pushing the startups forward in a way that gives them better chances to succeed in the commercial arena. So I hope that this mutual feeling between all the partners that I've just mentioned is actually felt by everyone. And this is why we do feel that we're doing something that kind of makes a change along the way. An important milestone to that feeling of change was actually, we got the assurance that we're on the right track in September when the Ministry of Science sent a call for proposals to all universities, hospitals, research centers in Israel, asking them to apply for funding as a part of a tender to actually find this kind of activity, an acceleration program, and also a lot of funding for basic science. And I'm so proud to say that thanks to the hard work of the Oazis team and to our team at Yazamut and through the BGN team, we won the first prize. We won almost 11 million shekels for a new activity that would be adjacent and complementary to Oasis for very early stage funding of promising applied-oriented projects that can eventually become the pipeline for Oasis, and also for the formation of the acceleration program. So this is a kind of milestone to see that times are changing and we are hopefully leading the way to a new training. So I think I said enough. Good luck to everyone. Thank you so much for all these collaborations, and go.
Thank you. Thank you, Dana, for being our rock. And as Dana said, when we just established Oasis about 2 years ago, one of the first things we did was to partner with the wonderful IBM AlphaZone team. And we are so lucky to gain them as experts and true friends and to collaborate with. And I'm honored and happy to invite Uli Hayek, the CTO and tech sales unit leader, and the head of IBM AlphaZone team, Israel, to say a few words. Uli?
Yeah, thank you, Yulia, and cheers, Dana. So hi, everyone. It's great to be here with you today on the demo day of Oazis. Oazis is a venture builder accelerator that takes us all to an amazing journey from ideas and dreams to startup companies that will shape the future. And IBM AlphaZone is very proud to be part of this journey and inject into it technology, knowledge, architecture, and a network of accelerators that will be able to offer you, the startups, soft landing in your next steps in Israel and in the US market. I want to thank our dear friends from the Oasis team, Carmel, Dana, Michelle, Yulia, Tamir, Bat-El, and all the team. It's a big honor to be part of this family, and congrats for the new funding. I want to thank my people, Yaniv, Ronen, Orly, and Yafa for your dedicated work. And especially, I want to thank you, Oasis entrepreneurs. You are the main heroes here. And me and IBM wish you all the best in your journey to change the world. So good luck.
Thank you for the kind words. And I do want to extend our personal gratitude to Yaniv and Ronen and Orly and Yafa, and all your wonderful team. It's also a great opportunity to thank all our partners. Some of them you can see here in the Zoom squares. So we have Brooks Carrot in finance, and Lutato Group in patents, and Shiboret Law Firm in legal, and Barikat in pitch and presentations, Ease of Excellence, and of course our friends and southern neighbors in Negev. They all are using their resources and expertise to support our startups. So without any other further ado, I'm excited and proud to present the fruits of our team's hard work. Just a few ground rules to make it all simple. After each pitch, you're going to have 9 minutes of Q&A. So if you would like to ask a question, please send your question to my private chat, not to everyone, that might distract the teams. Please send it to me, and then I can group similar questions and hand over the mic fairly at the end of each pitch. You can find me in the chat list. I'm listed as Oasis Julia. Also, please, when you're handing the mic, please ask questions briefly so the teams can answer as many questions as possible. All the questions that won't be able to answer in those 9 minutes will be sent to them later on. So they will appreciate any feedback you might have. You can also obviously connect to them via the chat directly. That's it, we're starting. Kick back and relax. And please welcome our first team, bringing new hope to cancer patients. Immunique.
Hi, my name is Angel Porgador, and I am serving as the Chief Innovation Officer of Immunique.
Hi, my name is Bar. I'm a Business Development of Immunique.
Hello, my name is Moshe Kabetz. I'm a CSO of Immunique and a professor at the Ben-Gurion University of the Negev.
Hi, I'm Omer. We have developed pioneering technology to recommend fast, accurate, and personalized cancer treatment. You can save lives, save money, and improve quality of life. I invite you to join us.
Hi, I'm Omer, CEO of Immunique. Cancer is a lot like guerrilla warfare, and here is why. Our immune cells are actually stronger than cancer cells. But cancer is dangerous because, like guerrilla fighters, it hides from the immune system. Now, if we remove that invisibility, our immune system can actually defeat it. And this is the basis of immunotherapy, or ICI drugs. And it's highly effective. But there are some challenges which massively limit its implementation. You see, doctors need to know which ICI drugs will work on a particular patient. And this requires a lot of testing with live cancer tissue and T cells. This must be kept under extreme conditions to not get spoiled or contaminated. And even then, they don't last very long, and they can be used only once. The whole process is extremely expensive, but the main problem is that it is just not accurate enough. That's why in practice, this remarkable personalized therapy that holds so much promise is so limited in its implementation. Out of the 100 million cancer patients worldwide, it only helps around 5%. We have developed a groundbreaking technology that uses preserved tissue, so there's no need for special handling, no need to draw blood from the patient, and we can use samples more than once. The process is simple, cheap, and highly accurate. So now doctors can run accurate tests to determine the correct drugs, and finally, the incredible potential of this therapy can actually be realized. These achievements belong to our amazing team, two leading researchers in immunology and oncology from the Ben-Gurion University, Professor Moshe Kabetz and Professor Angel Porgador. Bar, Jonathan, Orly, and Bar from the Health Science Faculty are our highly competent R&D and operation team. And myself, Omer Bar-Or, as CEO, with 15 years of experience in the medical sector. We have validated our method using retrospective research with real patients' biopsies and have shown that our solution is highly accurate and effective. We've partnered with 5 of Israel's top hospitals, Soroka, Barzilai, Sheba, Rambam, and Hadassah medical centers. Our method shows high sensitivity, high selectivity, and high accuracy, and a provisional patent application has been submitted. We have validated those ICI drugs that are currently approved, and we precede the pharma industry for drugs expected to be approved within the next 2 to 5 years. Total ICI drug sales are expected to surpass $30 billion this year alone, and they'll reach $68 billion by 2025, at a compound annual growth rate of 22%. The benefits to insurance companies and the HMOs will be enormous, as they currently spend $27 billion every year on ineffective treatment. Revenues will be generated from 3 parallel sources. First, from tests sold to insurance companies and HMOs. This will be our base revenue, and we expect to reach $140 million in year 5. And that's with a very conservative estimation. On top of that, we will target the $27 billion expenditure on ineffective treatment by insurance companies and HMOs, and will generate additional revenue from cost-saving services to these organizations. Third, we will collaborate with pharma companies on multi-million-dollar drug development and clinical trials projects. we have already achieved POC and validation of human samples together with leading medical centers in Israel. Now, we will strengthen our research and IP this year, then receive our regulatory approvals next year, and go to market in 2024. To achieve these activities, we are looking to raise $6 million. All other companies in this field have limited solutions. Our technology is the most accurate and the only one that can predict the immune system response. And as time is critical in cancer treatment, we can issue reports faster than any other company. On other parameters, such as using preserved or fresh tissue, regulatory path, analysis cost, equipment cost, and potential for future applications, our solution also comes out ahead. Immunotherapy is the miracle in cancer treatment the world so desperately needs, but it fails in its implementation. Our technology overcomes this problem, so this remarkable treatment can finally do what it's supposed to: save millions of lives, save billions of dollars, and provide a real treatment for cancer. Thank you.
Thank you. Truly a new hope and a new technology. We'll be receiving questions right now. So as I said, if you have any questions you might want to ask, please chat them over to me and I'll hand over the mic. First question we have from Gadi Bahat.
Yeah, hi. Sorry, something is wrong here. Okay. Give me this. Okay, hi. Very nice presentation, very impressive. I would like to ask, I think there are similar companies or companies with similar technology. What is your uniqueness and how do you plan to compete with those companies?
Okay, so hi everyone. Yes, there are some companies in this field, but all the companies that are working in this diagnostic or decision support field basically are checking something else. They are checking indirect methods or indicators to predict the correct treatment. However, our technology checks the direct and functional response of the tumor cells to the immunotherapy treatment. So we are not using the same technology, and according to the tests that we have done, our technology is very, very accurate. And basically, this is what differentiates us from our competitors, from technology-wise.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Gad. Julie, you have a question. Would you like to ask it?
Can you hear me?
Julie Quickel, I hope I pronounce it well.
Quickel, that's pretty good.
Yeah, hi.
As you know, immune responses is important in all infectious diseases, and as you are, I'm sure, also aware, we're trying to cope with a worldwide pandemic. To what extent is your innovation applicable to other infectious diseases, let's say, dealing with using a different, developing a different model with the same idea for dealing with other immune responses?
Okay, when the field of immune checkpoints will be available for infectious disease, and it could be available, then our technology could be applied to this field using the same biopsies taken from infected tissues in the patient.
So that's the next 5 years.
Yeah, maybe more.
Thank you.
But it sounds like you have a lead here with Julie, so thank you. Thank you for that. We have a question from someone who's asking to stay anonymous. So the question is, it's still not clear to me what is the difference between your company and others like Oncotest, and are you saying that all patients can benefit from immunotherapy with your technology?
Okay, a company like Oncotest are basically checking sequences and the presence of of genes. We are doing functional assays, so it's definitely a different field. They are in a way looking for the presence of something which is stable and not moving, and we are actually looking for what is actually happening in real time in a way.
There was also a question about, can all patients benefit from immunotherapy with your technology?
All patients that can be treated with immunotherapy can benefit, all cancer patients that can be treated with immunotherapy can benefit from this technology. Yes, the question is yes, and they should benefit, because the world of immunotherapy treatment in the coming years will not be a decision of one drug, yes or no, will be a decision between 5, 10 different drugs representing different pathways of immunotherapy, and this decision will be very complicated. Our technology is actually dealing with all of these pathways and can give an accurate decision support to the physician, to the treating physician.
Okay, thank you. We have a question from Facebook. We're actually streaming, by the way. We have different communities in Yazamut. So one is doing bio, and they're asking if you can explain your technology a bit deeper.
So the technology is based on the fact that we were interested to measure two things. First of all, to measure the activity of the protein. And secondly, we want to measure it in a fixed tissue, meaning that we won't be limited for a fresh tissue, which requires a lot of regulation and a transportation program. So we generated a sophisticated live-based assay that can quantify the activity of the natural protein in a fixed tissue, and this is a very unique, and we are the only one so far that ever thought about it and actually been able to show that it's working well.
Thank you. It sounds like a real Thank you. It really sounds like a really big breakthrough. Yaakov, would you like to ask a question?
I just want, I think it was a great presentation, and just if Omer can add some more words about the regulatory pathway moving forward and what is required between now and getting the FDA approval.
Okay, so one of the main challenges is the regulatory path. We have an excellent team, a technological team, experts in immunology. And we will have to recruit an expert with the regulatory field. Basically, what we plan to do is to go to the decision support section. We are not a diagnostic company. We are not planning to be a diagnostic company. So the regulatory path is going to be relatively simpler. And what we think of to start with the CLIA guidelines, or working under the CLIA guidelines, which enable us entering the market much faster. Having said that, we plan that within the 24 months ahead, we will be able to penetrate to the US market, and maybe on a later stage apply for FDA mark.
Thank you. Michael Barash, you wanted to ask a question?
Yeah, I would just like to maybe understand at what stage did the Oazis became involved, and what did they participate. That's why I sent the question to you.
Oh, that was to me. I thought it was for the team.
Yeah.
Actually, I would like to give the team a chance to answer that one.
Okay, so we have a very good results in the lab and outside of the lab. We have clinical, real patients, clinical data by now. And we partnered together with the Oazis team. This is an initiative from the university, from VGN and Oazis. I partnered with those two excellent, top in their field researchers. And this is exactly where we are now. So
So, Omer, can you say who introduced you to the team, for example?
It was you, Michel. It was
Okay,
you.
thank you.
So we are guided all of the way through Oazis, and definitely they introduced Omer to us. Thank you.
Thanks, team. They worked really hard during the last 4.5 months, and we appreciate their hard work. I think we're running out of time, so any other questions, I apologize, but we will send them over to the team and they'll be able to.
If I just may say, thank you for our mentors and experts which assist us in this way, or with the presentation, with the knowledge, with the guidance. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. I can also see Ellie here listening, so extended to you as well. Thank you guys. Best of luck.
Thanks.
And we are proceeding to the next team. So our next startup is Sensify, and they have an artificial nose that can actually detect pathogen contamination. So we had a lot of questions about COVID here in the chat. That might be more relevant. So Sensify, please.
Hi, this is Michael. Michael is my dog. He has a very sensitive sense of smell. He can even smell treats from far, far away. Not like us humans, but not for long. We, Sensify, developed a unique artificial nose. Here at the Ben-Gurion University, at Razjelnik's lab, we synthesize different carbon nanomaterials and depositing them on this tiny electrode, creating a sensor. With this sensor, we have been able to detect chemical gases, chemical mixtures, and everyday odors. We can even detect bacteria and differentiate between different types of bacteria. And with this technology, we can even sense the success.
$420,000. This is the number of people who die from foodborne illnesses every year. Shocking statistics even for the world's most advanced economy. The reason is bacterial contamination of food. And why is this such a widespread problem? Because food is not being tested for bacterial contamination. How could it be? Well, firstly, food samples need to be transferred to a lab, so there are shipping and handling costs, which companies are reluctant to pay. And the testing process takes at least 3 days. That's 3 days of food storage, holding up the whole supply chain, which is simply unacceptable for most food manufacturers. My name is Raz Jelinek, co-founder and chairman of Sensify. I'm also the vice president for R&D at Ben-Gurion University and a researcher in the chemistry department for 25 years. Together with Nitzan Shaulov, a brilliant PhD student in my lab, we've developed a unique technology that solves this problem. Our team also includes Shahar Shalev, our business developer, and we currently search for a potential CEO. We call this technology Sensify. It is an artificial nose technology for the food manufacturer, distributor, and supply chain provider. It allows them to conduct bacterial sensing on-premise and on the supply lines and receive the results in less than 2 hours, making reliable testing accessible to all food supply chain participants. Now, there is simply no excuse for any supplier of food products who do not test their merchandise. We already see major agencies such as the World Health Organization and the Federal Drug Agency require updated regulation on food safety in the supply chains, aimed at reducing microbial food safety hazards. And in the process, we can reduce the overall damage cost of more than $100 billion and save nearly 500,000 lives. How does Sensify work? Our unique, innovative, low-cost, and patented digital nose technology is composed of carbon nanoparticles that can detect individual chemicals, chemical mixtures, and everyday odors with 95% accuracy using machine learning algorithm. It is as accurate as laboratory testing. The Sensify DOT will transport the data wirelessly to an artificial intelligence platform for processing and via an app to the user on site, making it reliable for on-site bacterial tests, which can collect data and rapidly detect and alert on pathogen contamination. For example, Sensify distinguishes between 4 pathogens with the signals showing this classification potential. These and other exceptional results were published in leading scientific journals with wide media coverage. When you connect the Sensify platform to the market situation, one can see that the potential is huge. The food safety market rolls in about $20 billion a year, of which $4 billion only in the US, and 50% is related to food pathogen identification, coming up to $2 billion a year. We foresee significant penetration as we have an exceptional technology, and even at a conservative 5% penetration, our direct market is close to $100 million a year. Sensify's technology is versatile and can be applied to other markets as well. Different than the food market, we examine other verticals and already have significant traction from companies in smart filters and point-of-care medical diagnostics. We have recently carried out a thorough research process leading to an excellent scientific publication and a patent submission, which is in the PCT stage. The next step is to develop a prototype MVP platform for which we are looking for a $2 million investment. In the near future, we will launch the platform and partner with other companies. Revenues will be generated from sales of the platform together with a subscription based on sensing as a service. We will provide monitoring, analysis, and alerts based on continuous AI and integration with environmental information. Sensify introduces an advanced technology that is ahead of competitors, both in terms of passing monitoring and in terms of contactless identification, which together sets the company apart from the competition. We are Sensify, and we unlock the potential of bacterial detection, providing on-premise 24/7 bacterial detection, saving time, saving money, saving lives. Thank you.
Thank you. So we have a question from Shmuel Yerushalmi.
Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, I want to ask next question. How the technology was presented now can to support improving quality of the food, and the second part of my question, how this technology can to contribute to subject of food security.
Thank you. So food quality and food security, team.
Yeah, thank you.
Both food security and food safety in our context is alerting on the presence of bacteria. So in many instances, actually in almost all instances, you don't want to have bacterial contamination in your food. So if we can tell you, if we can alert you on the presence of bacterial contamination, then we provided some useful and important information.
Thank you. I think we've all seen some newspaper clips about contaminated baby food recently. That's a good example for that, hopefully. We have another question from Mia Vrubenko.
I wanted to know, is the sensor disposable? And if so, how much food can you test, or how many different foods can you test with one sensor?
Actually, the nice thing about this sensor that it's highly recyclable. So one sensor actually can be reused for many cycles and many types of bacteria on the same location for the same food.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm looking at Facebook right now. So the classic question, where, I guess they mean how, are you better than your competitors in the market?
I can say that in terms of seeing other competitors in the market, we have the ability to sense pathogens and differentiate between them. And also we have a non-contact testing. Usually other markets have used something that you need to take sample from the food and test it, and we can sense only the non-contact test when only the gases that emitted from this type of food. Also, we have a continuous monitoring. We can get analysis with a long period of time, and this is much step forward with this technology than other competitors.
Another thing to emphasize is that our sensor is extremely cheap. So it's very easy, and actually one of the targets, the business target, is to introduce multiple sensors in multiple locations in a sort of IoT model. So this is actually a very important advantage. So we're talking here about passive sensing, very cheap and broad distribution of sensing locations.
And another interesting point to, if one can imagine an alarm system. This is actually an alarm system that can be in a certain place, and since the IoT sensors are not expensive, they can be all around and sense continuously what's going on in the environment.
Thank you, team. So I'm grouping some questions from Bar, Michael, and Daniel. And it seems like, I guess, during this time, people are interested in any COVID implementations you might have.
Well, actually, we didn't obviously show this data in this presentation, but the sensor is actually capable technologically to report on airborne virus particles. So we have preliminary results showing that the sensor can report, can alert on the presence of viruses in air, and even distinguish among different viruses.
Thank you. That might be really relevant. I think that's it for the questions so far. Thank you so much, Sensify.
Actually, I had another question.
Yeah, Julie.
I was just disconnected. There have been there's a series of studies that have shown that dogs can be trained to detect cancer in patients at a very early age. Have you considered using Sensify for that purpose as well? I see Raz is going like this with his head.
Well, I'm saying yes because I read this same article that you did about the dogs.
There are many articles. It's not just one.
Yeah, actually, there has been technologies for sensing cancer through breathing. There are problems with these technologies, with the reliability and accuracy and other issues. Right now, we're not pursuing these directions, although, you know, if somebody comes and gives us a couple $1 million, we'll be happy to test directions.
I
know the Technion has been working in this area.
That's right, but they do have problems, and we are better than them.
There's no innovation without problems, as you know, Raz.
Of course. That's why we're here.
Hey, Raz. I'm representing the Technion. Hi.
There we go.
Hi. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to offend you.
No, you're not offending me. It's all fair. It's all fair. But I do have a technology in the accelerator that is using Professor Hussam Hayek technology. So we're talking
Good
about
friend. Yes.
Thank you both. Thank you very much. And best of luck, Sensify.
Thank you, Julia. Thank you for all the help and guidance and everything.
With pleasure, and all our team are for you. And
I want to say just a special thank you for Nava for mentoring us and gave us all the points. So thank you very much.
And
Yeah,
I would like to thank Michelle for introducing me to the company. Thank you.
We are paying them for all this. Nava unfortunately couldn't be with us. She's coping with serious COVID right now, and we wish her best of health. But your mentors are truly remarkable, and we'll hear more about them later on. Right now we have a special thank you and a few words for you guys from our mayor, Mr. Rovik Danilovich.
לצוות אואזיס, מאיץ הסטארט-אפים שלנו, שמשנה את המציאות ולוקח את החיים שלנו למקום אחר לחלוטין. כיצד ייראה העולם בעתיד? כגודל הדמיון והחלום של כל אחת ואחד מאיתנו. אתם לקחתם על עצמכם אחריות. אחריות גדולה על החיים, על איכות החיים שלנו כאן, בבאר שבע, במדינת ישראל ובעולם כולו. אני גאה בכם, אני אוהב אתכם. יאללה, קדימה, תנו בראש.
So there, I don't know if you know, but Beersheba is really going towards us being the startup South Nation of Israel, the Silicon Negev, and hopefully many of you will actually stay in the Negev and found your companies here. Next, I would like to introduce Tydrone. So Tydrone is actually, it will remind us of sunnier days than now regarding renewable energy. There you go.
Global warming is affecting all of us. It is caused by the burning of fossil fuel, which produce 45 billion tons of CO2 each year. To reduce the CO2 emission, the world is moving to renewable energy. One of the most important sources is electricity generated by solar panels. But as dust and dirt accumulate on the panels, their output is reduced by 40%, causing a loss of up to $45 billion a year. Cleaning the panels is very challenging and expensive. The solar panels are divided between three large sectors: large utilities, commercial, and residential. But only utilities, which make half of the market, have robotic solutions. Cleaning the residential and commercial sectors is performed by the same cleaning companies and still relies on human labor. It is complex, water wasting, and very expensive. Using traditional robots is impossible because the panels are dispersed on different locations and are difficult to reach. Tydrone develops innovative robots with unique capabilities of flying and driving over surfaces while cleaning them. They can reach panels on rooftops, high grounds, water reservoirs, and skip between the different panels. Our breakthrough technology allows the drones to fly, drive, and even climb vertically using inverted thrust forces. The Tydrone system will be composed of a truck that carries a fleet of drones. The drones will semi-autonomously identify the panels, fly, and clean them. The Tydrone can clean and inspect the panels anywhere. It is fast and affordable. For this challenging technology, we built our team of leading experts. I am Dr. David Zaruk, inventor and CTO. I am the head of the Bio-Inspired Robotics Laboratory with 20 years of experience in developing robots. We are in advanced negotiations with the CEO who has 20 years of experience in leading technological and robotics projects. Rotem Bahar is our marketing and partner relation officer with experience in communication and strategic planning. Guy Levy is our VP for business development. He has 10 years of experience in developing software. Alex Taskar is our advisor. He brings over 20 years of demonstrated ability in business, financial, and operation management of companies listed in NASDAQ and Tel Aviv Stock Exchange and private corporations. And finally, Professor Moshe Schramm, who is a world leader in robotics and serial entrepreneur. Among others, he founded Model Robotics that was sold for $1.6 billion. The Tydrone has multiple advantages over competing technologies. It has a higher accessibility, it can reach panels anywhere and skip between them. It has a high cleaning quality, lower cost, and better water efficiency. The global cleaning market is $10 billion with a yearly growth of 17%. The US serviceable market is $2.1 billion. We aim to reach 5% of the market in 3 years. Our business model is B2B. Our customers are the installation and cleaning companies. We will generate our revenues from selling the systems, from maintenance, and from leasing. Our initial target market is the US, and then we will continue to Europe. We already built a proof of concept and have provisional patent. Now we are looking for funding to build a more advanced prototype for field trials. We'll start installations with partners in 18 months and begin with commercial installations in 2 years. To execute this plan, we are raising $6 million. We are Tydrone. We are revolutionizing the solar energy sector by maximizing the output of the panels at a minimum cost. We invite you to join us in our journey for a better world.
Thank you, Tydrone. So we can ask questions right now. Looking at, by the way, people are sending some questions and don't want to take the mic. That's okay. You can ask anonymously if you'd like. So first question. What is the effect of your product on the market? Okay.
Can you hear us?
Yes, we can, loud and clear.
So we are using a disruptive. We are going to have a disruptive technology in the market. We think we are going to change the way people clean their solar panels because we are going to move from hand cleaning to robotic cleaning. That will have multiple effects on the market. So one of them is since it's going to be cheaper, so more people are going to clean their panels. Solar panels are going to be more effective and which will help increase the market. So what we expect to have is that the market will increase if we have better cleaning solutions.
Thank you. We have a question from Mia.
Hi guys. I just saw you have some drones lying ahead of you. Is one of them the prototype?
Yes, indeed. One of them is the prototype. Can you see us here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, one of them is a prototype. The other drones are unique drones that we developed our lab. Actually, we've been building drones for many years, and we've been building drones, unique drones that can both fly and drive, which is what makes our robot more unique than other systems.
And is that going to be the size of the product?
And actually not. This is a smaller prototype, what you see here. We use it in the lab for experimental purposes. The actual drones will be slightly larger, about, not much larger, about 3 times larger.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. That's what's called, we just happened to find it here. There. We have a question from Tal Palette.
Hi guys, very cool. I want to ask something that may be rather obvious, but why go for solar panels and not windows? I mean, obviously you would have a much larger market, and you can start with a pilot here in my own house. Is this something, a direction you've considered?
Actually, our technology can handle both solar panels and the windows. So there are 2 reasons why we are going first for solar panels. Because first, we think the Earth, we need to help the Earth with the global warming. So we want to reduce the CO2. This is the first reason. The second reason is although the cleaning market of windows is very large, the solar panel market is increasing. Is increasing at a larger rate. It's about 17% a year. But we do have plans to go into cleaning windows. Our patent, which we submitted, included in it also cleaning windows of large buildings.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thanks. We have an anonymous question. What is the innovation here? Why? What differentiates you or them from any other engineering group that manufactures robots?
We have a unique technology which we developed. So I'll start with the fact that our technology allows the robots to fly from anywhere and land on panels anywhere. It also allows the robots to land on the panels and drive on them without sliding, which is also a very, very tricky technological challenge. So these things allow us a leading advantage in technology point of view. I think we have a very strong team in terms of technological background. We have many years of experience in developing robots. We also have in our team we have lots of experience in management and building startups. So these things, I think, come to our advantage.
Thank you, David. Govan, you asked the question to everyone, but would you like to ask it by yourself? No? Okay, so in terms of cleaning mechanism, does the panels require any changes in coating for protecting against scratches, since you use less water and less lubricant to remove dust particles?
No, actually, we don't need to change anything on the panels. The panels, as they are, the vast majority of the panels are from glass, which is very, very rigid. We did many experiments. It was all fine. Actually, also landing on the panels did not damage them. We did multiple experiments. And I will say that even in some experiments, our robots even collided with the panels or even crashed on them and was even okay. So we are okay. So they won't harm the panels. We don't need special coating.
Thank you. I kindly remind people again, please ask me on my private chat. There's also a grouping of similar questions going on. Amiram, would you like to ask a question?
Thank you. I actually want to ask two questions. One relates to the cost of the operation. How much does it cost to clean, let's say, 1 square meter of panels? And the second one, how are these drones operated? Do they need a specific person to operate each one, or do they have some sort of automatic mode in which they just clean everything on the roof?
Someone's talking in the background. Okay. So I'll start with the second question. I'll start answering it. So our drones don't need one person. Don't need one operator per drone. The operator can send the drones. They'll do the work on their own. At the first stage, we are going to have not fully autonomous drones, but so the operator will ensure that the drone has landed safely on the specific panels it's going to clean, and then he can move forward. In terms of cost, I think we can cut the cost by more than 50%, probably by even more. I think cleaning the panels now can cost between $5 to $10 per panel, or sometimes even more. We can cut this to much lower numbers. I don't want to give a specific number, but much lower numbers we can reach.
Thank you. There's also a two requests actually, two different questions about expanding about the business model. Maybe can you tell us about that more?
So our business model is the B2B, where we are aiming to have to collaborate and work with the cleaning companies and installation companies. Installation companies, they also need cleaning. You know, they also offer sometimes the service for multiple years at the beginning, for 2 3 years or 1 year. So these will be our first customers. At the first stage, we're heading to a market in the US and specifically in California, which is about 30% of the US market.
Thank you. We're running out of time, so any other questions, we'll send them directly to the team, and I'm sure they'll learn a lot from them. Again, please ask me on my personal chat, and we will move on. Tydrone, best of luck. We hope for more sunny days.
Thanks a lot, Julia, and all the Oazis team.
Happy to help. Next in line, Dynamox. Dynamox, they're aiming to be the make it or break it solution for the logistics industry. So let's see. The video is muted.
Connection with Ben Gurion started very early. We got closer and closer with time. Our team has over 35 academic years at Ben Gurion University. After we joined Oazis, we realized we have a solution that will generate a revolution in last mile logistics. Now, together with our CEO, we are ready to make history. Let me tell you how Dynamox is about to change last mile logistics. In order to do that, allow me to introduce We Deliver, a company that delivers anything you ask for. They used to have a small warehouse, a single truck, and several orders each day, which a small and well-experienced staff easily handled. But as the world has shifted towards online ordering, the number of orders they received grew immensely. They had to buy more trucks, hire more staff, move to a larger warehouse, and introduce automation. Now, efficient task allocation means more orders a day, and more orders a day means higher income. Moreover, if they continue to have trucks following long routes through customers' homes, they may not be able to keep up with the competition. Now, this is a dynamic world. Additional orders keep coming in. Customers are willing to pay in order to get their packages faster. Things can go wrong. A flat tire, broken machine, or an injured worker. The problem is not only complicated, but highly dynamic as well. And efficient task allocation is critical. And that is where we come in, Dynamox. We maximize performance of teams in dynamic environments. Let me introduce our team. Roni Anta, our CEO, and Michael Binun, our advisor, have decades of experience in the Israeli high-tech. Dr. Sofia Madur-Nelke is a researcher at HIT and an expert in task allocation. Ben Rachmut, my PhD student, and myself, Professor Roy Zivan from Ben Gurion University, are experts in distributed AI and multi-agent optimization. In order to solve the problem, we first represent it in math. Then we reduce the mathematical model so it can be fed into a multi-agent task allocation algorithm. The result of the algorithm is a division of tasks among the agents and coalitions for handling shared tasks. An ordering heuristic is used to determine the order among the tasks allocated. When a dynamic event occurs, the mathematical model is updated, and following it, the model reduction. We solve it once more and update the agents that their tasks have changed. This cyclic process is how Dynamox efficiently adapts to dynamic events. Our solution is useful not only for the loading of the trucks at the warehouse, but also for the delivery to the customers' homes. Trucks drive to the neighborhoods where the packages are intended to be delivered. Coalitions of scooters and drones take the packages to their destination homes and bring items that the customers want to return back to the trucks. The trucks go back to the warehouse while the scooters and drone remain in the distribution area to serve other trucks. Dynamox allows WeDeliver not only to increase service level, but also to adapt to new technology. Because when you have humans following the instructions of a task allocation algorithm, replacing them by machines and robots becomes a smooth process. Can we do it? Yes, we did it before. 2 successful POCs in the security industry, one in which drones and UGVs coordinate military-oriented missions, and the other in which medical units and rescue units coordinate disaster response. In both projects, we provided an improvement of 20% in efficiency for small scenarios. On large scenarios, including hundreds of agents, Dynamox improved efficiency by 75% over the current solutions. There are many companies that are similar to WeDeliver, logistic companies and robotic companies. We already have a general agreement for design partnership with 2 potential customers. One is a large food enterprise, and the second is a robotic company which specializes in robot warehouses. What are they doing currently? Rule-based solutions such as first come, first served within the warehouse, and for delivery, they are trying to optimize truck delivery routes. Thank God Dynamox is on the way. And the market is huge, $200 billion in the US, and it is expected to grow. Actually, in 2020, in a period of 2 months, it has grown more than it has grown in the decade before it. In the next 18 months, we plan to complete 2 POCs with our design partners and turn them into paying customers. In order to do it, we're raising $3 million. So why Dynamox? Because we have a strong team, a proven solution, and because the market potential is huge. We envision that Dynamox will generate a revolution in last-mile logistics such that companies will adopt Dynamox as their task allocation system, and the ones that won't will not be able to keep up with the competition. And that is the future of last-mile logistics.
Thank you. So questions. Yaniv, you wanted to ask something? Yaniv,
oh, yes, yes. Hi there. First, great presentation so far, and great event overall. Thanks for having us here with us with you today. A question for you guys regarding your market size. Are you targeting customers from small, medium businesses only? How do you compare it with Amazon and other large companies around there?
So thank you for the question. We are targeting currently. We are targeting the MFC, the micro-fulfillment companies and the dark stores companies, mainly the last mile. If I would like to wrap it up, it's the last mile, the segments in the last mile industry. So it can be companies like Amazon, but Amazon it's be the next or the third phase from now. Currently, we're working on companies like Kaha Robotics, Fabrics, and others that providing solutions for the robotics centers. And also we are focusing on companies like Awesome, Nestle, and such that managing warehouses.
Thank you.
Did I answer your question?
Any?
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, thank you.
Also, Ronnie, for some reason your streaming is a bit off, so pay attention. Yotam Lifshitz? Yeah.
I asked in the chat how dynamic is the solution? Can you tailor it to other stuff that needs task allocation, like healthcare in emergency rooms and other stuff? Is it easy to do with the model?
Yeah, well, actually, we did not start.
Wait, can you come closer to the phone, to the microphone, please? No, we still can't hear you. Sorry, Lonnie, would you like to take that one?
Yeah, wait, do you hear us? Okay, I will answer. First of all, as we presented, never mind this. First of all, as we presented, we have started in the security industry. The same, let's say, the same engine can be implemented to other sections and to other sectors, but basically we identify the last mile and the logistics as the booming sector today as a customers as well. We are all consuming today the e-commerce and the e-grocery and all the rest, and they need a better and faster solutions for their needs. In the future, and we already spoke with few companies like Optibus and such, we will maybe develop ourselves to other markets, but currently we are focusing on the last mile only.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Loud and clear.
Back.
Okay, great. I'll just mention that our POCs were not in logistics, but in the security business. And therefore, we know we can shift from one market to the other. We know our solution is efficient. We think that the first civil application is the right place to enter the civil market is logistics, but it's definitely relevant for others as well.
Thank you, guys. Sarit Shimoni? Sarit? I don't know if you hear us, but Sarit is asking for a deeper understanding of the solution itself. Can you specify about the features of the solution?
Well, the solution is not simple, and we had a part of the presentation describing it, and it's kind of the best we can do in the short time we have. I'll be happy to explain more offline and show longer presentations, but it is not non-trivial research which I've been working on with my students Sophie and Ben for more than a decade, and putting it into 5 minutes was quite a challenge.
Thank you. And hi, Sophie. We have a question about your business model from Facebook. Can you elaborate on that one?
Yeah, I will be happy because we have this question. We already asked this question a few times with the potential investors and potential customers that we already met. And basically, it's pay as you grow. We saw customers that would like to pay per warehouse. We saw customers that would like us to give a revenue. It's not a revenue share, but to a hybrid model of revenue. But basically, we have a flexible business model, and we'll be happy, as Ray said, we'll be happy to take it offline and to elaborate more about it.
Thank you. Another question, Shmuel Yerushalmi?
Yeah, I hear. You hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I want to ask you how this project can to support to resolution of problems of logistics in times of different global disasters.
Shmuel, I think your line is a bit off, but what you're asking is, can it be any beneficial in this time of COVID? I'm guessing also dynamic situations like COVID.
I will answer it. It's very simple. It's not only regard to the COVID itself. We are, as customers, would have to get everything now. And we saw in articles about from fast to immediate. We want to get our shipment after half an hour and 15 minutes or 1 hour, not more than that. So with our solution, the micro fulfillment center will be able to do that. because currently we see the struggle with meeting this very hectic and very tight time schedules, but with ours, we already showed them that with our solution they will be able to do. But basically, yes, it's really the COVID, but not only because.
Thank you. Thank you. I think that's it. Yes, this is it. Thank you guys for your presentation.
Thank you, all the team.
As the other teams, we would like to thank Michael, the mentor that assists us a lot, and Danny as well, and Michelle.
COVID pandemic.
Michelle, I'm here because of you. So,
in the organization, your employee may keep your instructions, but
there, Michelle got so excited that he just pressed play.
Yeah. So the because was with a negative connotation, Ronnie?
No. I'm sorry. I saw the movie started, so I have been confused. But I would like to personally thank you that our first meeting 12 years ago or 15 years ago was the establishment to this to my position here with Roy and Sophie and the other team. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Okay. So thank you for that. And as a small pause, all the wonderful teams, as you can see, and as they've mentioned, they couldn't have done it without their dedicated and talented mentors. So I would like to present to you Tal Palette, which is one of our mentors from the very first cohort, so for a year and a half now. She's an experienced research and development professional in pharma and biomed. She has really broad regulatory background, and she currently advises a lot of early stage startups and projects, mainly in healthcare. She's involved in many things like angel investments and pro bono legal proceedings, social impact ventures, and generally she just has a really huge heart. So Tal, can you say a few words about your experience as a mentor and a few words to our teams?
Absolutely. So thank you, Julia, and really happy to be here. And first of all, I really want to congratulate all the teams. You know, when I look back several months ago, when you guys came to pitch to get into Oasis, and looking where you are now in these presentations, it's like, wow, it's an amazing, amazing progress. And you really should commend yourselves and be really, really proud of the whole journey that you've made. It's amazing. And just, you know, Oasis in general, and Dana said it before me, it's a real family. And it's something that's very, very unique in this whole landscape of, you know, accelerators and incubators. And, you know, this is Israel. We have so many programs going around, but there's something extremely special. And I have to give this to Julia and Michelle. You know, it's like being the mom and dad of this whole family. And like Julia said, I've been with Oasis almost since inception, since the very first cohort. And I think I'm not unique in that aspect. Many of us have joined this ride and are here for the duration and happy to contribute. There's really a special vibe going on. And I think this is really the glue that at the end of the day manages to bring the university researchers and the entrepreneurs from the ecosystem. Because I mean, look, these are very, very different creatures, right? They have different KPIs, they have different goals, they speak different languages. And really, I think one of the very important pillars of Oasis, other than spinning off amazing startups, obviously, is to bring these two cultures together, form a common ground. You know, they start to understand each other, they start to speak with each other, they actually, you know, they glue it together. I think it creates this really, really special kind of nuclear situation, almost like a nuclear fusion between very different ecosystems that on a general basis don't really interact. And you have to really be honest about this. Most tech transfers don't really work. And here there's a really interesting opportunity of actually spinning off startups. They use the know-how and the research and the IP that has been sitting in Ben Gurion and the world was not aware of and can do a lot of good. And I think what we're witnessing here really is the tangible outcome, as we like to say, you know, in acceleration programs and when we speak about startups. Of this merger. And I think it's amazing. And you guys are doing an amazing, amazing work. And I'm so happy to be a part of this. So really thank you for the opportunity. And Best of luck to all ventures going forward.
Thank you so much, Tal. I'm getting red here, so I don't know if you can see via Zoom.
A question to Tal, who is a dad and who is a mom?
Well, that's a tricky one, I have to say.
That question, since it wasn't asked directly via my chat.
We'll take that offline, Michelle.
But thank you. And actually, as Tal said, most of our mentors, all the mentors that started with us are still with us, and we're just gathering more talented people. So thank you all for sticking around through everything. And great thanks from all our teams for all your expertise. Our mentors, by the way, are not just mentoring one team, they're available to advise all the teams all together. So that's really appreciated. And for our next team, we have 2 more left. The next team is Smart, and they are the guardian angels of enterprise.
In today's world, due to the COVID pandemic, people are forced to work in hybrid environments. In the organization, your employee may keep your instructions, but at their home, mistakes may happen. Their smartphone, tablet, or laptop may be compromised and infected with spyware and malicious applications.
How can I control and support it remotely?
To address this challenge, we at Smart developed this tiny dongle, which is the ultimate cybersecurity solution for device protection. Hey CISO, are you happy now?
According to the mobile security report from Checkpoint, 97% of organizations in 2020 faced mobile threats. 46% of organizations had at least one employee download a malicious mobile application. The current app solutions like malware scanners are not and cannot be effective. First, like any app, they have only limited access to the device files and memory. Second, they require app installation and continuous update and maintenance from the user side. Third, they are vulnerable to many in-device threats like malicious apps, malware, and so on. And last, many users tend to disable them as they are battery drainers. Our solution, Smartguard, is a tiny device which will revolutionize the mobile security. It connects to the smartphone via USB ports as a trusted device. From there, it has unlimited access and capabilities over it. It enables deep access to the phone memory, files, data, and logs. It is a trusted external entity which is not vulnerable to threats from the phone itself. It doesn't require an app installation and maintenance, and it is battery friendly. For example, the phone can be charged even when it is plugged in. I'm proud to introduce Smartguard. Our team includes top researchers in cybersecurity. Professor Yuval Ovici is the Director of Telecom Innovation Laboratories, Deutsche Telekom Israel, and the Head of Cyber Labs in Ben-Gurion University. I'm Dr. Mordechai Guri, the Chief Scientist and the Head of R&D of the Cybersecurity Research Center in Ben-Gurion University. Our CEO, Stellan Stelsmod, has 30 years of experience in the one-tier enterprises. Itamar Lukatsky, our Oazis associate, is on operations. Smartguard has a wide range of security capabilities, in-depth and enhanced cyber protection, malware scanning, and attack alerts. It enables continuous and ongoing device protection and device health. It provides secure environment for remote working. It is a trusted and secured entity to manage and process sensitive information such as payments, cryptocurrency wallets, online credentials, personal information, and so on. In addition, it also enables seamless and incremental backup and recovery. All these functions can be managed by the enterprise on a secure cloud. Our selected go-to-market strategy is to begin with security aspects, as they are critical, unaddressed, and best fit our team expertise. We provide an holistic solution to the enterprise CISO, who has to deal with acute challenges like bring your own device and work from home. The organization can now have a total access on the devices and protect them in an unprecedented way. 91% of US workers are allowing their employees some work from home. 74% of organizations suffered from cyber attacks due to the remote work. 71% of security leaders complain that they lack visibility to the employee home environment. Compared to the existing app-level solution, such as malware scanners apps, we have three primary advantages. First, apps require installation, update, and maintenance, while our solution is completely clientless. Second, device apps are considered untrusted and vulnerable to in-device attacks, while our solution is trusted and external to the device. Third, app solutions have limited access on files, memory, and logs, while the trusted device, we have enhanced access to this information. The global mobile security market size was valued at $20 billion in 2019. It is projected to reach $120 billion by 2027, growing at an amazing CAGR of 26% in the next 6 years. We plan to focus first on the US market, estimated at $20 billion in 2025. Even with a very conservative penetration of 1%, we will reach $200 million in revenues within 3 years. Our business model will be based on subscription to the cloud services and analytics. The device itself will be very cheap, and we don't plan to price it high in order to accelerate penetration. To date, our research has led to prototype and 3 patents. Within 6 months for investment, we expect to have an end-to-end prototype. Then, 6 months later, we plan to release our MVP to 3 design partners. From there onward, we will continue to add capabilities and win more customers. The mobile security threats are becoming the main security concern for all organizations. Smartguards come just in time to provide the ultimate solution. You are welcome to join us in this journey.
Thank you, Team Smart. That actually sounds right. First, we have a first question from Mia.
Hi. Is this going at some point to become a B2C product? Because my grandmother, she has a very great quality of forwarding me messages and asking me, should I click on that?
Stuff.
So my question is, will it be available for the public at some point?
Yes, thank you. I'm waiting for Asaf, our CEO, which is not on stealth mode anymore. And I want to expose it here to answer this question.
Hi everybody. So yes, eventually we'll reach to the B2C, but we'll reach there gradually. So we'll start with B2B. Next step will be B2B2C, and then we plan to get to B2C, clearly.
I'll be waiting. My grandmother will be waiting.
Happy to hear that.
From personal, I personally know her grandma, and actually that's that's a really good one. Thank you so much. Yaron, IBM, you have a question?
כן, שלום.
היי.
על הביזנס מודל, הייתה כאן שאלה על ה-B2C, אני רוצה לשאול אם חשבתם על האלמנטים של ה-corporate compliance ב-B2B, כי אם חברה רוצה לתת לכל נושאי הטלפון מטעמה, טלפון מאובטח, הם תצטרכו לעבור את המסלול של לגרום לחברה לסמוך על ה-device שלכם, לגרום לחברה להגדיר את ה-device שלכם כ-certified device. האם חשבתם על זה?
If I may translate for those who don't understand Hebrew, so we're asking about compliance in B2B, about cooperation of the entire company and their employees with all their devices. Thank you.
Yes. I think it's a very good question. In general, today, there are many security solutions like CrowdStrike, where data from the organization is going to the cloud of the security service provider. So we are going to be more or less in the same situation. It may happen that eventually our cloud solution for some customer will be deployed in the premises of the organization and not in our premises. Once we are moving all the analytics to the cloud, we are flexible in providing the service the security service provider from one hand, and on the other hand, to allow and to deploy the same cloud servers inside the premises of the organization. So in this case, your justified concern will be removed.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Michael Binun.
Hi, yes, just a general question. What sets you apart from your competition? I assume there are many. So if you can relate to that as much as you can.
Yes, I just didn't hear your question so well. What differentiate us from other companies, from other solutions?
From other existing cyber solutions, yes.
Okay, so we have several advantages. I just will list the primary advantages. The first, we have much more in-depth security. We can access much more information on the device and cyber attacks than other application-based solution, because we are external to the device and use actually physical connection. We can block much more security threats on the device than other solution. Second, we are completely clientless. We don't need any installation, maintenance, and updates in the device, which is the usability of our solution, and we are doing it centralized place on the cloud. We actually give the full visibility, heat map of the whole organization to the CISO, which is currently doesn't exist in other solutions. So this is our primary advantages. Of course, we have more, but up to your question.
Just to elaborate on what Moti said, our direct competitors are companies that may provide forensic analysis. That you will bring them your device, authorized device, and they are going to analyze it and look for whether the device is compromised or not. Now, what we are trying to do is to bring this notion of forensic analysis of the device to the mass market, because today it requires to bring an expert to analyze the mobile phone. In our case, we are providing a small device plus an analytics on the cloud that brings this capability to the mass market.
Thank you.
Julia, if I may just add, I mean, everybody has been watching the news lately, and there is a big wave of smartphone hacking coming at us. So just in time, Mordechai and Yuval, just in time.
Yes.
Thank you. Our Noemi from Shibolet, you had a question.
Yeah, a quick one. The solution that you are proposing sounds very similar, and I don't know if you are aware of the company, to First Point. It's a company which was initiated at the Bar-Ilan University. Are you aware of their solution?
No, we are not. We're going to check on it.
Thank you for the lead.
Got it. Because from first observation, it sounds very much the same, and they struggle with the similar issues, such as infiltrating into large organizations due to the fact that it's a physical item and not just a web solution.
So we are not aware, but the question is how they are doing the analysis of the mobile phone, whether they are doing it in a trusted manner,
they do.
In an external device. That's the main advantage that we have, but we are not aware about how they are doing their analysis.
Noemi, I will take that because they will not say it. Bar-Ilan doesn't have Professor Olovici and Mordechai. That's a big difference.
Thank you, Armada's team, and thank you for the lead, Noemi.
We cannot hear you.
On mute.
Oh,
you're on mute again, Yulia.
I am sorry. There, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, perfect. So I was saying that I'm looking at Facebook right now. This was a question already. Are cyber threats like smartphones and personal tablets are a real threat to the organization. I'm guessing that's related to Michelle's comment about the latest news.
We believe that the best way today to target a specific member of the organization is via the mobile phone, because the mobile phone is more known to the attackers. So they can target much easily a specific individual in the organization via the mobile phone than via, for example, his email, that today there are many very advanced solutions for analyzing all the communications to the endpoint of a member of an organization.
Just to add to what Yuval said, in the last years, we are witnessing that the attackers are shifting from traditional laptop and desktops to the attacking mobile devices of workers, because all the advantages for the attack from the attacker's perspective that we just said.
Thank you very much. We're out of time, but thank you for your presentation and for your open answers.
If you can just thank Boaz for his support.
Yes. Sure. Thank Boaz and thank Michelle for the support and all the yes.
For the huge support to crystallize the idea. We started in one direction, and thanks to Oazis and Boaz's mentor support, we really got into a much crystallized message.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I also know how hard Boaz worked. All our mentors, by the way, are volunteers. So we'll double your pay next cohort. Thank you, Boaz. You're here.
Thank you.
Just thank you, Boaz, but all to Oazis staff as well. Yes, don't forget them. Yes.
Thank you. We thank you as well.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, wow, I'm excited and sad at the same time. Our last but not least team is Raimundo. So Raimundo is going to revolutionize the high-resolution imaging from space. So we have a space startup.
When Ido first told me about Raimundo, I couldn't help but think how it can further humanity.
Imagine that Raimundo existed during the 2004 tsunami. We could have probably warned about it in advance, and after the tsunami, we could have easily and fastly located survivors. Raimundo can further humanity in so many different fields, in the field of earth science, in meteorology, in city planning, in agriculture, in ecology and environmental protection. Raimundo is a great gift to humanity.
Imagine you can zoom into Earth, just like this. Looks good, right? The problem is that in order to get such a high resolution in which you can actually see people and cars, the satellite has to be the size of a bus and costs $1 billion. We can do it using a milk carton-sized satellite which costs only $1 million. Hello, I'm Ido Priel, the CEO of Raimundo, and our vision is to redefine imaging technology to allow high-resolution capture of the entire Earth. We have a world-leading team with both commercial and technological experience. Professor Yossi Rosen, with over 35 years in optoelectronics and the inventor of our core technology. Oren Berger, a physicist with a decade of industrial experience in developing electro-optical cameras. Eli Ochayon, our Oazis associate. And Jill Smith, who is the previous CEO and chairman of Digital Globe, the world's largest commercial satellite imaging company. My personal background consists of more than 20 years in the satellite industry, including co-founding a previous satellite startup that has launched successful missions to space. One of the main problems in the satellite imaging domain is achieving very high resolution at low cost. Today, in order to get a resolution in which you can see details the size of a person, you need a very large aperture, which then creates a very large camera and satellite. And the larger the satellite, the higher the mission costs. On the right, the Hubble telescope, equivalent to the world's best satellite, it costs $4 billion, is the size of a bus, has a 2.4 meter aperture, and can provide imagery in which you can see people. Right next to it is Worldview, the world's best commercial satellite, costs $500 million and can see cars. And all the way on the left, the smallest commercial satellites, which are the size of a milk carton, cost $500,000, but can barely see a building. For the first time ever, Raimondo will provide imagery at the best commercially available resolution using a milk carton-sized satellite. Our solution is based on our technology, PICE, Partial Aperture Imaging System, which allows us to fit our camera inside a nanosatellite and still get very high resolution, but at the same time, reduce the overall mission cost by 3 orders of magnitude. We defy the resolution impacts cost paradigm. So, what does real high resolution look like? Not like the current best commercial, but like this, where you can actually notice details like car types, models, and count people. Our secret is our underlying technology, PICE. In the conventional imaging system, the glass lens fills the entire aperture, and the larger the lens, the better the resolution. With PICE, only 5% of the aperture area is needed to achieve an image with the same quality as the conventional imaging system. These 5% are separated into smaller areas on the circumference, thus resulting in an imaging system which is both much lighter and foldable, 2 advantages which are significant for space. The amazing part is that this technology already works. We have a working setup in the lab, which consists of our SLM lens and proprietary image processing algorithms. This setup provides actual imagery taken of a resolution target, showing that with 5% of the full aperture, we can achieve great results compared to the conventional imaging. Our product will be data as a service. We are often asked if we plan to develop everything from end to end. Our answer is no. We plan on taking our imaging system, placing it on a CubeSat you can buy online, launching it with SpaceX, and using Amazon antennas around the world to download imagery straight to the cloud and make the products available for our customers. Different customers will then be able to use this data imagery for their own applications, ranging from defense, homeland security, to mapping, navigation, and targeting audience. These customers are all part of today's satellite imaging market that will have a TAM of approximately $5.3 billion. Customers that are solely focused on electro-optical imagery create a SAM of $4 billion. Using imagery collected and sold by 7 satellites, we will have a SOM of $1 billion in 2026. Today, most of these customers are North American and are defense-oriented, but others come from Google, Microsoft, and Apple, and there's a whole category of value-added service companies as well. In terms of the competition, Raimondo will position itself by providing the lowest cost imagery, $300 per image at the highest available resolution. In order to progress, we need to build Raimondo's own lab setup to continue our R&D, and within 18 months, we will have a first ground payload which demonstrates PICE works outside the lab. In an additional 18 months, we will reach our space MVP. We are now raising $5 million to get there. At Raimondo, our mission is to digitize Earth everywhere, all the time. I invite you to contact me and be part of this revolution. Thank you.
Thank you, Raimondo. So first question, they asked to stay anonymous. How familiar are you with the market, and why do you think they will actually buy pictures from the first satellite?
Hi, everyone. Nice to see you in person or on Zoom. I'm very familiar with the market. It's a market that I've been part of for the last 20 years. In the last 3-4 years, I've been working with all the largest satellite service companies and their customers, representing customers as well. And it's definitely something that the market is looking for. I mean, they're looking for better resolution that is currently available. I know that the companies that currently have the best resolution out there are selling almost all of their capacity, and the market is limited. So having another high resolution satellite out there is definitely something that the market is looking for. So this is my personal knowledge and experience in this market.
Thank you. Looking at other questions here. Sorry.
I can add to that in the meantime that in parallel we've also had discussions with potential customers regarding our idea, regarding our technology, regarding where we plan to take the product, and they're very enthusiastic. And of course, they're already looking for the first imagery.
Thank you. Jeff, you wanted to ask? Oh, sorry, no. Your Tamlic sheets?
No, by accident. Sorry.
Oh, that was really that sounded like really intentional. Okay, so we have an anonymous question. How confident are you that you will be able to fully patent and protect your IP?
So the process has begun. I mean, it's IP that the patents are already in a pending stage, both worldwide and in the US. This is a research that Professor Yossi Rosen has been doing in the last 10 years by himself. We've looked around by ourselves, I mean, to see if there's something similar around the world. Again, there's nothing like that. I can tell you that in terms of the market trend, we're not the only company out there who is looking or aiming at better resolution, which is currently out there. But again, working with these companies today, I know let's call it their tricks. And their tricks is still using very large satellites. One company out there that just raised, I think, $10 million is planning on building refrigerator-sized satellites that are just going to be, let's call it, orbiting Earth at much lower altitude. So they have to carry much more fuel. That means that their satellite will live less, and initially, because their satellites are much bigger, they're going to be much more costlier. So again, we think that the patents will be approved shortly, and again, knowing what's out there, we have a secret sauce.
Thank you. And we're closely familiar with that sauce. I have a lot of questions here wondering about privacy, so potentially dangerous for privacy, and how can you make sure that won't be used in an invasive manner, keeps repeating itself? Can you maybe refer to that?
Yeah, so first of all, I mean, as a satellite company, you have a certain regulation to undergo, whether it's in Israel, whether it's in the US, wherever you establish yourself. So you have to have a license to operate, and as part of that license, I mean, one of the things that they verify is the privacy issue. Of course, we'd have to abide by the privacy rules, but I must say, just to take it off the table, even with the 15-centimeter resolution imagery, we cannot say that this is Yulia and this is Michelle, although they look very different one from the other. But it allows us just to know that there are two people out there. So that's having said that, I mean, it shouldn't be an issue.
Okay, thank you. Wow, a lot of anonymous questions. I wonder. Feel free, guys. We're in our extended family. What about your competition in terms of existing and new companies? I'm guessing somebody wants a deeper look.
So I can perhaps share. No, I can't share my screen. I have a few slides.
No, wait. If you want to share your screen, we'll be able to do that.
That's okay.
Now you can.
No, you can.
What I can say is that the current market trend for the current existing commercial satellite companies, if you go a few years back, there were two trends. One is for a few companies to say we want the higher resolution. The other is to say we want to increase the frequency which we can collect an image over a different area. And I think they both kind of lost, because everybody understands that the more interesting commercial applications, they need a mix of both very good temporal or frequency frequency resolution and what we call spatial resolution. I mean the resolution where you can actually see details on the ground. And the trend in the last few years has been that the companies that had a higher resolution are now aiming at putting a few lower cost satellites up there and even degrading the resolution. And the companies that had a higher frequency but lower resolutions are now trying to improve their satellite to reach a better resolution. All these companies which currently exist in the next 3-4 years will have satellites which are about 40 centimeter resolution. That's the sweet spot they found, and about a revisit, or what we call a frequency, where they can collect, they can reach every spot on Earth in about 1 hour. There are companies out there, as I said, at least we know one of that is aiming at 15 centimeter resolution, but again, they're moving towards much expensive and higher cost satellites. And I think in terms of where the market is aiming, yes, I mean everybody knows that's where they're aiming. I can show you a nice graph of that. Just a second. So this is trying to describe what I've said before. Everybody's asking who will reach the place where. Sorry.
Full screen.
Sorry. Everybody's asking. This is our graph. This is out from. You can find it in papers that analyze. Oh, you can't see. You still can't see it, but never mind. Eventually, everybody's asking who will be the first company out there that will have a revisit of lowering beneath an hour with a GSD which is better than 30 centimeters. We're the only ones thinking about it, and in that regards, I mean, our roadmap, which is currently to send out one satellite to space, and even with one satellite, you have a revenue generating business. After that, our next step is to launch additional 32 satellites and be there every hour. But our grand vision is to be real-time Google Earth. I mean, image everywhere all the time.
Thank you, Ido. Unfortunately, we're out of time for your Q&A, but thank you. And as I can see, people can reach out to you to get further information, since your roadmap is actually really detailed.
Thank you. I'd like to say again, like everyone, thank you for everything that Oazis has done for us, to Yulia, to Michelle, and of course the rest of the Oazis team, and the rest of the participants who it was great having everybody help each other out as well, and of course the mentors. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And indeed, there is a really tight community of our teams, and teams, you rocked. I think that in these 2 hours, you showed the results of months of hard work, and hopefully it is just the beginning of many successful years. And we will obviously be continuing to support you and our graduates as we do with our previous cohorts. Lastly, Michelle, you want to say something about our upcoming cohort?
Yeah, I barely can talk. I mean, that was really exciting, especially because a few months ago, all of these wonderful startups, I can't say startups now, were just research, a study in a lab, a brilliant study in a BGU lab, and now they have all of the other ingredients. I've been mostly focused on building the ventures, connecting entrepreneurs and researchers, and it has been a set of amazing discussions with them. Now, if you are a researcher who has not yet applied to Oazis, and I've seen a few, you are welcome to contact me directly or the rest of the team. And even if you have a doubt that your research can be the deep technology, deep tech startup core, we can help you change that perception and make it maybe a bit more applicable. So researchers, welcome to apply and contact us. If you or anybody you know is an entrepreneur who has done a few things in the past, is looking for his or her next journey, contact me as well. We have amazing researchers and researchers to connect you with. And we are always looking for experts and mentors to join the amazing pool that has not left, none of them have left from day one. Thank you again to our mentors for that. If you want to join that family, welcome to contact us as well. And thank you to all the teams. You are not done with us yet. We are going to continue and bug you. Trust us. Good luck to everybody.
Thank you very much. You're also welcome to follow us on LinkedIn and on our website and Facebook. Thank you again for all who made it possible for Oasis to bloom in the Negev. We are truly excited. And Tamir and Bateli, our team, are also available for you. Teams, may you grow like a palm tree in the Oasis. And thank you all our guests, all our investors, all our mentors and experts for coming and supporting us. And stay tuned.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
As always, you're great.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank
You were
you.
great.